Hey everyone, and welcome to this Q&A video. I'm sure you can tell by the title, but this is just going to be a girl talk Q&A. I remember when I first did this forever ago, you guys were loving it, and I think I did another one since then. So this may be the third. I'll have the other two. I did Q&A just for the girls, linked down below in the description, because I tried to pick new topics this time that I haven't really touched on before, just because I've already addressed the other things. So I feel like stuff about, I don't even know, like feminine hygiene, stuff like that, I feel like I did a lot in videos previously. So make sure you check that out. If you're a boy, stop watching because this is for the girlies only. I just love doing these videos with you guys because I feel like, I don't know, that much more closer to you. I feel like I'm just having a sleepover with my besties, and honestly, I was going to film this last night with like a glass of wine and just chit chat. I feel like the first one I did was so long. I remember I filmed it like late night, and yeah, but honestly, I just wanted to have good lighting in this video, and so that's why I waited till this morning to do it. Are we like too bright in here? I thought this was like a cute setup though. It's really bright. I have my beautiful little baby resting next to me. He just completes the video, huh? Put on my little cozy set. We're just gonna cozy up and chit chat. I'll answer questions, touch on topics you guys wanted, post on my Instagram story and you guys wrote in, so thank you. You guys had so many good questions for me to talk about. But before we get into it, I want to shout out the sponsor of today's video. Thank you so much, Helix Sleep, for working with me on this video. You guys already know I love my Helix mattress, and if you didn't know, I love my Helix mattress, okay? Like, I've had it for over a year and a half now. Let me tell you, well, when Max is here, him and I and Brody sleep so soundly. This mattress is so comfortable, you guys. I'll insert some footage right here. When we first unboxed it, it always makes me so emotional because Brody is like so teeny in that clip, and it's so easy to unpack yourself. It just comes all rolled up and then it kind of expands. This mattress is so dang comfy, you guys. Like, whenever I sleep anywhere else, I wish I was in my bed because that's how comfy it is. Like, I feel like I'm turning so into, oh my gosh, I need to like be in my own bed because it's that comfy. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and they even offer financing options, flexible payment plans, and you get free shipping on all orders. Basically, Helix Sleep has a quiz that will match you to the perfect mattress for you based on your sleep preferences. So you know what, I feel like I used to be a stomach sleeper, and now I feel like I'm a back sleeper. Anyway, besides the point, you can put in if you sleep on your back, your stomach, your side, if you sleep with a partner, and if you like it soft, if you like medium feel, firm feel, everything like that. I feel like I used to like it really soft, but it would kind of hurt my back, so now I like more medium feel. But Max and I both prefer medium. We both kind of sleep on like our back side now. So we just put that in. We are matched with the Midnight Luxe mattress. I feel like I could just talk about it all day long. You guys know we're obsessed. Especially if you are in the market for a new mattress, you should go to helixsleep.com/Gretchen. I know. Oh, bye, buddy. You can get up to $200 off your new mattress, and they actually have a 100-night sleep trial. If you're gonna start chewing your bone, it's gonna be so loud in this video. Apologies. We're saying they have a 100-night sleep trial, so you have over 3 months to try out your mattress, and if you're not obsessed with it, they'll pick it up, full refund, everything like that. Again, helixsleep.com/Gretchen for up to $200 off your new favorite mattress and 2 free pillows, which is amazing. So, without further ado, let's get into the questions. Question 1, and I really hope that Brody chewing on his bone over there, can you see him? Doesn't like bother you during this video. Let's just keep him in the frame over there. That's kind of fun. Okay, question 1. How to deal with jealousy and overthinking in a relationship. I think she put in specific that it's like a distance relationship. Okay, now that the camera's on, he just wants to be the star of the show. Again, I really hope that doesn't bother you. So, this is tough, especially with distance, because obviously jealousy is normal. I wouldn't consider myself a jealous person, but I feel like that's normal. Okay, it just is what it is, because you want to be next to me. But I think overthinking is really normal, and I feel like that's such a common girl thing. I'm such an overthinker. So honestly, if you have you guys are helping me. If you have tips for me, comment down below, because I'm such an overthinker, and I'll be like, oh, like this happened, so that obviously means that, or like when Max got home today, he like didn't really pay as much attention to me, so clearly he's mad at me. Maybe I did something. No, maybe they're just tired or they're busy. Or, do you know what I mean? So I think you just have to be like really logical with yourself and be like, relax, calm down, and sort of recognize within yourself when you are making up scenarios in your head. I feel like so many girls do that. I do that when I like play out a scenario in my head, or just like make up things that may not be actually how it is, you know? Like you just convince yourself that they're mad at you or things aren't good when like everything's okay. So just take a step back, relax, everything's good. Obviously, I feel like you feel a lot less jealous if you just like 100% trust your partner, but we will get into that in a later question. This says outgrowing friendships, missing someone you know doesn't fit your life / cutting them off. I feel like I've talked about friendship a lot on my channel, my podcast specifically, and especially how when you graduate, like making friends as a young adult is really hard, and just friendships post college is like a whole new ball game, and I didn't realize how hard it is to keep friendships with people that you love and care about in your life because you're all spread out, so you really have to make an effort and like put in the time to keep in touch with people, but also how it's hard to make new friends, and at the same time you're growing up and you're an adult. So I feel like outgrowing friendships is so normal, and this is just my opinion. I feel like there's different opinions about all of this. Like some people are like, I don't know, not as keen on cutting people out of their life. However, see, and I don't really feel like I'm that type of person either. Like I feel like I really try to stay at least on good terms with the majority of people that I know, and it actually deeply hurts me and makes me sad and kind of weighs me down if I'm not on good terms with certain people. I think that's sort of like an issue within myself though, is I always want people to like me, and I can remember in high school if I like knew someone didn't like me or was kind of rude to me, I'd like go out of my way to be nice to them because I wanted them to like me, and I'm like, clearly they're like getting something wrong. But that's bad because it's like you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and you need to just focus on the people that do really love you and care about you. So all of this is to say, I'm thinking about friends that I used to be really close with that I'm not anymore, or for whatever reason sort of had to cut them out of my life. I could probably count on one hand like the amount of people I've purposely had to cut out of my life, and it's sort of like, for me, it just gets to a point where if you've had so many like negative experiences with someone, or times where you realize like this person is maliciously hurting you, like on purpose, is not being a good friend and like going out of their way to actively like root against you in your life or hurt people close to you, if you know what I'm getting at. So I feel like in that case, and it still weighs heavy on me. I'm like, oh, I wish we could be good. But then I'm honest with myself. Like I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and I was like, oh, maybe one day it'll all be like kumbaya. But then it's like, no, it shouldn't be, because people don't change. I remember he was saying, you know, you change until like maybe 18, 19, 20. And after that, you kind of are who you are. And I'm like, that's so true. Like your character, I know people can change, but it's sort of like, if someone has broken your trust so many times, I'm talking about this one so much, and is a bad friend, because this is something I've dealt with specifically. And it's so sad because you think like really good times you had with them, but then if they have just wronged you in really horrible ways, it's like you can't trust them, and sort of like any efforts you make to be friendly and friends with them again is sort of a waste of time, because there's so many other people that actually have your back and actually love you and care about you. Yeah, I just had that conversation with him and realized like, you're right, because trying to be civil and be friends with people that are never going to be in your corner and have just always like not been a good friend to you isn't really worth your time. So all of this is to say, it's difficult, but I think deep down you know what's right, and you just have to like act within your best interest and love yourself and put yourself first. And if you know person X, Y, and Z isn't good for you, talks crap about you, is rude to you, you don't feel good when you're around them, then that's not worth your time. And you could surround yourself with people that cheer you on and support you and love you. But it is hard, and I think you just have to focus on people that really do love you and care about you. I noticed this so many times with me, my sister, like especially my like period of life being a young adult, you were sort of like, oh, I can be so lonely, whatever. And it's like you sometimes are blind to the support network and like how many people love you and care about you, even if it's like a FaceTime away, like long distance. It's like, think in your head, like you have your family, you have your cousins, you have your friends from college, high school, whatever. So it's like you just have to realize that you already have a great friend group a lot of the time, you know? This says how to ask the what are we question. This one I thought, sorry I talked about the last one forever. This one I thought was funny and I put in here because I feel like this is a common thing where you're sort of like, okay, we've been talking for a while, maybe we're exclusive, why are we so scared of the boyfriend-girlfriend thing? But essentially we are dating and are exclusive, so we kind of are boyfriend-girlfriend. But it is really hard. I feel like I finally, with Max, like a month or two into us talking and being exclusive and hanging out all the time and not talking to anyone else, I was like, dude, what are we doing? Like, and I hate being like that, but honestly, just be honest, be straightforward. I know it's scary, but you can kind of bring it up in a more chill way. I am not chill. I was like, okay, what's the deal? Like, are we staying? Are we leaving? What's happening? But yeah, I think you just have to be straightforward. And you could bring it up like gingerly though. You could be like, so I was thinking like we're exclusively dating. Do you want a girlfriend? Like, what's the deal? I think you just need to have an honest conversation. I feel like so many answers to these is like, you just have to have open, honest communication. Even though it's difficult, it's very important. You are just going ham at your bone back here. What kind of talks did you and Max have before moving in together? Money, needs, etc. Okay, I put this in here because I think it's important. And thinking back, we honestly had none of these conversations. It was sort of just like unspoken. We always said, I don't know why, maybe because we had talked about it like here and there. After Max played his first year of hockey, it was always like, okay, we don't need to be long distance. I work fully remote. We can live together and like I will move wherever he is playing hockey. But we really should have talked about needs, money, all of the things, more of our situation, because then I felt like we were backtracking and it made it more difficult once we were living together, and it's sort of uncomfortable, like, okay, what are we splitting, or like, are you paying for this and I'm paying for that? And now we have a good system. It was sort of like we had to figure it out as we go, but like some things like rent we split, but then like he was just like, okay, I'll do the cable, and I'm like, okay, I'll do the gas and electric. Do you know what I mean? That's like such a bad example, but I feel like I would have liked to been more on the same page before we moved in together. It worked out fine, obviously, we just figured it out, but I think that is important to have conversations like that. Like, okay, what is our financial situation gonna be? Because we are under the same roof. If we're buying separate groceries or groceries together, or rent or cable or electric or gas, like all those things, how is that gonna look? Just so that you avoid like uncomfortable situations when you're like feeling like you never want to feel resentful, like, oh, I'm paying for more, and then it just like messes up your relationship more. But aside from money, yeah, I think it's important to just talk about the dynamic and your expectations, and like, especially if you're someone that works from home like me, it's like, okay, we're both home during the day. I need to like be in the office with the door shut because that's like my work time, and it's nothing against you, but you know, like boundaries like that, or like, I feel like Max and I have gotten better about that. I mean, he hasn't been here in so long, so it's just me, so it's fine, but we'll be like, okay, if we're both here, we don't want to, especially like time around one another, because what you'll learn if you move in together is that quality time spent together and time when you're both home and just around one another are a lot different. And we learned that the hard way moving in together. We would just like be on our phones around each other all the time and be like, what are we doing? We're not even spending quality time, or hanging out with each other, loving each other. You know, ways to discover who you are in your 20s without comparing to others. I thought this was good because I think especially in the day and age and social media, we're all comparing ourselves to others, and it can get really hard. And it's sort of like, I totally get that, like losing your sense of self, being like, wait, I like this and I'm inspired by this and I enjoy doing this, but like, who am I? Am I just like a compilation of these other things that I'm seeing? So I think the best thing you can do is to not go on your phone if you feel like you're comparing yourself to others, and you literally just need to follow your passions and like joy and like what actually makes you feel good, because I'll catch myself like that. I'll be so in comparison and it makes me anxious, and I'm just like, need to take a deep breath. As I was saying, yeah, you literally just need to like follow your joy and what you're passionate about and interested in, because those are the days that I'm feeling the best, that I'm not on my phone, that I'm like, I don't know, just doing things for myself. Brody's going ham back here. Literally just follow your passions and your joy and just keep doing more of what you like, and I think that should guide you, especially if it's like career-wise. I always say, I mean, I got lucky and fell into this forever ago, but I think if you just like go after what makes you happy, all I know is I think in following what you enjoy doing, what makes your heart full, it could lead you into more things that you enjoy and you can identify with, communities, hobbies, all those things, and that's, you could find yourself. Why aren't you open talking about sex? And you know what? I put this one in here because I feel like I actually have talked about that a lot, especially in my first Girl Talk Q&A, and I think maybe the second one too. So I wanted to talk about it less in here just because I had talked about it before. I don't think I'm not open talking about it. I mean, that's just not what my channel is about. It's more just like sharing my life, you know? Not just like feminine health, I don't know. But I don't think that I'm not open about it all. like clearly it's an aspect of most of our lives. I always say, like, if you are waiting till marriage, if you're not waiting till marriage, you do you. Like, I respect everyone's opinions. I'm sure you all know my situation, even if I haven't said it explicitly, because I talk about being on the birth control pill, and yeah. So I would say I'm pretty open. This says how to open up to your friends about mental health issues. Okay, I thought this was such a good one too, because I feel like this could be such a common thing that we deal with. And honestly, I feel like I relate to this recently, where I'll be nervous too. But I mean, I'm not really ever nervous with my sister, and so it was like nice starting with her, being like, I've been feeling so anxious, like, you know, so I just sort of, it was like a nice leeway into telling her, and then I felt like more comfortable. I could tell my friends. But all I want to say is, mental health issues, I feel like are getting so much better. By the way, I talked about, like, it's way less stigmatized. Like, everybody deals with mental health issue at some point in their lives, even if you've never had like depression, anxiety, something like that. I'm sure you go through difficult times mentally if you are grieving the loss of someone, if you are going through a hard time with anything in your life. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is mental health issues are extremely common and very normal. And yes, it can be hard to talk about, but at least for me, I feel so much better like opening up about it, and it just feels like I don't have to deal with it on my own, and I can get it off my chest. And it may surprise you how many of your friends are dealing with something similar if you talk about whatever you're dealing with them. Because I remember talking about it with one of my friends, and she was like, oh, I've been on anxiety medicine for like a year. And I'm like, how did I not even know this? And so it's like, wow, I feel so much better. I'm not alone in this. And so I think it can be hard, but obviously just bring it up when you feel like it's right, and with friends that you really trust and care about, because they have your back. And I don't know, then I just feel like you don't have to deal with it on your own, and they can support you in that. And I think you might feel better sharing it, but obviously you don't have to like bring it up to every single friend unless you want to, if you think that's like necessary. I was saying bringing it up to your closest friends that you feel like you can trust is just really helpful if you're going through a hard time. Did I just knee you in the head? I'm really sorry. Okay, next one. What do you use to stay clean down there? See, I just like sprinkled some of these in because I feel like there's a lot on this, but again, listen to my Girl Talk Q&As before, and I thought this was, no, not what do you use to stay clean down there. What do us girlies use? You're not allowed in this video, you're a boy, okay? Okay, I just briefly just body wash when I'm washing my body in the shower. I don't use any like feminine hygiene washes because I've just heard they're not good and can throw off your balance, like pH balance, stuff like that. Can you not right now? Yeah, just as long as you are washing your body with like body wash and like showering every day, I feel like you should be good. But if you are extra concerned, because I know some girls are extra concerned about like down there smelling, anything like that, I guess you could just, well, if you really think you should be concerned, like it's like an issue, obviously bring it up with your doctor. But yeah, I would say just like talk to your doctor about it, and they can recommend what they think is best, because you should not be taking advice for your health from me. This is approaching intimacy, emotional and physical, in new relationships. Okay, I thought this was good because I feel like I'm like saying where I'm choosing each question. I just think this is very common in a new relationship. You're just not as comfortable with someone, right? And so it can be uncomfortable to approach emotional and physical intimacy. I feel like physical, you just like feel it out and obviously are just doing what you're comfortable with. And I feel like it should just progress like naturally throughout time, like you have your first kiss and just, you know what I mean? I feel like that should be pretty easy, but obviously again, it just comes down to communication and like communicating with your partner what you are comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. And I think emotional can be even more difficult. I guess it depends like it just depends on the person. But again, just like being with someone that you feel close enough to that you can trust them with your honest like thoughts and feelings and opinions and everything like that. I also wanted to note that, I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like the emotional intimacy thing is so important as well, like just as much as physical. Like I think physical is obviously, it also depends on the person, if that's like your love language or not. Maybe it's like less important, but I know for me, I feel so much more loved if we're holding hands, if like Max has his arm around me, anything like that. So I think that is an important aspect of a relationship. But I feel like if you can be emotionally intimate with someone, if you can feel close to them, if you can trust them, if you can share with them hard things in your life, everything like that, I notice you just feel feel a lot closer to them, and that can kind of help with like physical intimacy as well. So I feel like girls struggle a lot too if you are feeling like, oh, I don't feel like physically attracted to this person, or like I want to be physically intimate. Do you have that emotional intimacy as well? Because if you don't, that may be what is like holding you back and what is difficult. I also feel like I've seen TikToks of girls, this is just reminding me, being like, oh, I thought it was asexual or just like not like physically attracted to anyone. They're like, then I just found out it wasn't the right person. And then like the person I was dating was not right for me and I wasn't necessarily attracted to them, but that doesn't mean you won't be to anyone else. This says, what is your routine for shaving, waxing, laser? And I feel like I touched on this more before, but I actually got laser underarms, bikini area years and years and years ago. We're talking like 2016, 2017. And I feel like they say it's supposed to be gone forever, but that's not been my experience. I think it's still probably less than it would have been, like less hair grows back than if I never had done it, but I actually do want to start getting it again just because it's so nice. I remember when I even first started getting it, like my first 2 or 3 sessions, I literally would like shave my armpits like once or twice a month, like it just would barely grow back. So yeah, that was like very ideal. I want to do that again. I don't wax like ever because I am such a baby and it would hurt way too much. Bro, like even my eyebrows, like I can't do it. I have to pluck my eyebrows because I just, yeah, waxing just sounds so scary. But my routine for I honestly don't even use shaving cream anymore. I feel like I did when I was younger. I always exfoliate though and use my loofah and just body wash, shave my legs. I don't even feel like I shave especially when Max is in here. I shave my legs like not even that much, like once or twice a week. I don't know. Yeah, just when I like have to, especially when it's winter, you know, but I guess that is my routine. Use lotion, everything like that. What do you do on days you don't love yourself? I'm tired of being sad when I see myself in the mirror. Okay, this might make me cry. So we're getting like really close here, girlies. I just relate to this so much, and I feel like I had a really rough day like 2 days ago with this. When I read tired of being sad when I see myself in the mirror, like I'm literally gonna cry because I FaceTimed my sister and I was like, I just need some like words of encouragement right now. Like I'm just not feeling good about the way I look, and it's so weird. You just have to recognize that it ebbs and flows, right? Because some days I look in the mirror or get my new outfit on and I like curl my hair and do my makeup and I'm like, wow, I look good. Like why was I ever worried? Like I feel so confident. Like everything's working out, right? And some days I look in the mirror and I'm like, literally none of my efforts are even like doing anything. Like I feel like I work out and eat healthy and like why am I not more toned like other, and it always starts, at least for me, like I feel like it steps in comparison, like why am I not more toned or jacked or in shape looking than like these other girls on Instagram or my other friends in real life, and you know, so you have to recognize that within yourself. It's just comparison, and you are working on being the best version of you, and it's not going to look the same as someone else. I just feel like on days when you're not loving yourself, you cannot go on your phone and you need to focus on things that make you feel better. FaceTiming my sister for like an hour and a half made me feel so much better. I will watch a funny show, it makes me feel so much better. Do not look in the mirror, just like be in clothes in an environment that you feel comfy and safe in, and just be cozy and cut yourself some slack and give yourself some grace. Get a lot of sleep, drink a lot of water, eat what makes you feel good and fueled and everything like that. Have a little treat if that's what you need to make you feel better. And tomorrow's a new day. Yeah, I just really relate to this because I hate that feeling, and it's so sad that I just feel like girls put so much pressure on themselves to look a certain way, or feel like if I don't look this way, however I decide in my head I want to look, I'm not like fully me, or I won't be fully seen, or I'm not beautiful, or I'm not all these things, and that is just so not the case. And I could talk about this forever, so just I will end it on this. I've talked about this before, but if anything, like really think about this, if any of your family members or friends were to describe you, they would never even talk about how you look. They would be like, she has such a kind heart, she is so, I'm gonna cry, like she's such a sweet person, she's gone through so much, I don't know why I'm crying right now, you know, has persevered. This just hits home. They would never say like, this is her jean size, this is like her stomach has a roll when she sits, like she has a big thigh. Like no one would ever even think about that. That's like, this is so morbid. People say like at your funeral, they never talk about what you look like. They talk about like your impact on the world and people. And so it's like, I get mad at myself when I look in the mirror and I'm like, let it like bring me down and have a bad day, make me sad, because I'm like, Gretchen, this is so unimportant. Like it literally doesn't matter. Like you have bigger problems in your life than like wishing your thighs were smaller sometimes. Like get over it. But your feelings are valid. It's very normal, clearly, like something I deal with too. And it so ebbs and flows, like the body confidence thing. It's such a journey. I talked about this in my podcast. I said your self-love journey is just that. It's a journey, and it's always gonna be up and down. Clearly, you can tell I had a bad day recently, but all I know is cuddling with my dog, talking with my sister for a while, and her telling me how hard I am on myself, how hard like all girls are on themselves, and she's like, you just have to show yourself love, like show your body love. Like she's gotten so good with that, and just like appreciating all that it does for you. Okay, no, we're talking about that one because clearly I like cry. This says, ever have trust issues when it comes to you and Max doing long distance? Okay, this is when I said I was going to talk about trust. Long distance is so hard, especially now, like without even realizing, I guess Max and I had become not even long distance, but distance in a way where like he's not even really living here, and we just spend a lot of time apart. And of course it's normal to like question your trust when you're not together. That's something that always scares me. See, but then this is when it's like me overthinking, because I'll be like, well, what if this happened? Or if a girl came up to him, like, I don't know how he would react, like I don't know. And then it's like, yes you do. You can't let yourself drive yourself crazy, because I also have heard this and I really like this advice. If you're in a relationship with someone, you Brody. But as I was saying, you have decided to trust this person fully. I think Peyton Sarton talked about this on her podcast too, and I really liked it. And she was like, unless they give you a reason to break that trust, they should just have it. And especially with all your experiences with them, you need to just trust them, because or else you will drive yourself crazy. I don't know if that's like answering your question or good advice, but of course, and I think you just need to be open and honest if you're feeling jealous, if you're feeling like you don't trust them, because maybe it really is like you want to feel emotionally more intimate with them, you want to feel closer to them, you want to talk more if you're long distance, you want to feel understood, right? You want to feel loved. And so it's like maybe that's more of it, instead of like, you know, because I think that can be it too. If you don't trust them, you're maybe like, oh, like I feel like I haven't talked to them that much, or they're not that lovey, so like maybe they're looking at other girls, and it's like you make up scenarios in your head. So it's like you need to just be open and honest in your communication, of course. And I feel like at this point we are just used to distance, and again, I trust him unless he gives me a reason to not trust him. So yeah, but if I ever have anything or I'm like, obviously I just bring it right up. Last question. I thought I would just end on this because I saw this and feel like I haven't talked about it too much. Obviously I talked about friendship, everything, but this is more of just like a updated like question for me in my life, I guess. This says, what is the culture of NHL wives and girlfriends? Not me like spilling the tea at the very end. No, I feel like I always heard so much before, like coming into it with Max playing hockey, like obviously horror stories or girls being really rude or like not even talking to you, or like big ego, or like that type of thing. Or it's just like, I remember hearing so much before I came in, they were like, oh, if you don't have a ring in your finger, like no one will even talk to you, whatever. Which I feel like maybe is the case. I feel like there's mascara in my eyes for like other sports, but I just have not experienced that, luckily. And I feel like I've always gotten so close so quickly with girls, especially down here in Lehigh. I will be very honest though, I feel like it's been kind of a hard transition this year with Max playing for the Flyers, because he's not only played for the Flyers this year, like the majority of his games have been, but some have been down here. So we sort of feel like an in-between situation where like I feel FOMO and left out down here when I'm up in Philly, but then when I'm there, and then if I'm here, I feel like left out there. So I feel like I'm like half a part of both groups. So it's kind of hard in that way, and it's just been harder to, I don't know, I guess like get close with girls in Philly, just because I am new and I'm gone a lot of the times, like I'm here a lot of the times. And if they have like all been there for a long time and have like are already close with each other, it's like a little bit more difficult. So yeah, that's just me being honest, but like everything's good. Everyone's been so sweet and nice to me. So I guess the culture, I guess it really depends on like whatever team, right? But it can be like intimidating or difficult and stuff like that. But luckily I'm like very extrovert, and I'm always just like, what's up? I'm Gretchen, you know, like I just try to be very friendly, because I feel like it is important to like have that sense of community, especially if they're like changing teams a lot, or I don't know, like you literally are just there for them playing hockey. So it's like nice to you're all in the same boat, right? So it's nice to just like have friends that like get it and understand, or understand if you have to cancel plans last minute because your guys sent up or called up or sent down or traded, or you know what I mean? So yeah, I guess that's that for the Girl Talk Q&A. Sorry I got like emotional for a minute. Hopefully Brody wasn't like too crazy. I can't with you. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.